Welcome to class, and here we go. We're going to do, oh, there we go. All right, we're going to be taking a look at our next problem, and that's dealing with Desmos. Just adjusting my camera here a little bit as I'm setting things up. So what we're doing here, I'm going to bring the notes into the screen so we can see that as well, is we're going to be using Desmos to solve for quadratics. Now, Desmos can be used to solve problems that are involving graphs and equations. Intersection points can be found using the graphing program to determine the answer to the question that's been asked. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through how we use Desmos to do this. It's similar to when we had linear inequalities, but with quadratics, it's just a little bit different because we're dealing with quadratics. So it's a bit of a different type, but the process is very much the same. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to open up Desmos. I have it in front of me. I'll be bringing the notes back and forth as well. And I'm going to type in the equation that's in the notes. 1/2 x squared, where's my square? There we go, plus 4. Okay, it's a nice simple graph. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see it very nicely. All right, so here's our quadratic right here. We have a vertex and a y-intercept at 0, 4, which is part of what we have here. So now, how are we going to solve for different values? Well, we can use just our regular algebra to solve, and that would be like our paper pencil type thing. And the better way, or maybe I should say the easier way, is to use Desmos when we're doing this. And so when you graph this out here like this, we can then punch in what value of x or which value of y are we solving for. So for the first little part here, let's just take a look at when x equals -4. Well, if we just type in x equals -4, then you'll notice that there's a line that pops up. And mine's blue. If you're trying this as well, it might be a different color depending on how many other equations you have in there. Now, this line here, it kind of intersects at -4, 12. So when x is -4, the y value is 12. That's your answer. If you were to plug that into the equation, you would get the exact same value. Okay, so you get the exact same value. You'd plug in the -4 in for x. You would do x squared is 16, or -4 squared is 16, times 1/2 is 8, plus 4 is 12. Boom, we get exactly the same value. So we can use that. It's, I would say, a much easier way to do that. Now, if you're going to show me your graph on Google Docs, make sure you take a screenshot with that point shown. Okay, so make sure that point is shown, or all the points shown. So there's 3 different ones. So let's put in x equals 1/2. That's another one that I asked you to do, as well as x equals 100. Whoops. Make sure we've got to put that into a new one here. X equals 100. I make mistakes as well. And now we're going to have to zoom out for quite a ways to be able to find. Oh boy, it's way out of here. Okay, way up there. Let's see. Should be somewhere around. Whoop, did the wrong one there. And let's see, where does it cross? There we go. Boom, 100 and 5,004. That's a value that we can find as well. I'm just going to extend this a little bit. Now you can extend your, or make stuff a little bit wider or narrower just by clicking on the Shift key. There we go. Okay, so you'll notice that there we go. You notice that my x's are very far or very close. My y's are very far apart. And if I click on, again, all these significant points right there, missed it. Okay, do that again. And there we go. There's my significant points. When x is -4, y is 12. When x is 0.5, y is 4.125. And when x is 100, y is 5,004. And so this is how we can solve simply when we have a quadratic, especially if we're putting it up onto a graph already. We might as well just plug in our x and our y values into there. So that's how we solve for a quadratic.